Hey guys, welcome back to Treadmill Review Guru. I'm Sydney, and today we're checking out the ProForm Carbon T10. This is the new model for 2023, so has updates that I'm gonna go over, and overall it's affordable, it's compact, folds up, and it's really best for walking, jogging, and some running. So let's dive in and check out how it performed for us. All right, let's dive in and check out the construction on the ProForm Carbon T10. So the footprint, as it's laid out like this, is roughly 73 inches long, 34 inches wide, and 58 inches high. It handles up to 300 pounds of user weight, which is on par with treadmills from ProForm. It's also nice considering that this is more of a budget option. It also folds up, so that deck folds up. There's also this pin over here, so it'll lock into place. And when it's folded up, that deck is almost up to 90 degrees, so it's pretty compact. Few things to note about the folding is that it no longer has the hydraulic assist. It's manual, so you lift up the back end. There's a steel bar just at the bottom back end of the deck that you can grab. It's a little bit heavier. This treadmill is pretty lightweight, so the deck doesn't feel too heavy. Like, I can do it, so most people will be able to. When you unlock it from that pin, that deck will come crashing down if you're not holding onto it, and that could definitely probably damage your floor, damage the treadmill, potentially hurt you. So we're not really thrilled about this change. However, it does make that deck fold up a little bit tighter, so you can be able to kind of fit it into smaller spaces especially, so that is a plus. The frame is made out of steel. It feels solid, sturdy. There really isn't much movement, really any in the console when you're running, which is nice. And then it has those steel uprights that connect up into the console, and with the handles are just these side handles, so there isn't a front horizontal bar. Something to keep in mind if you need maybe a little bit more balance assistance. This model might not offer enough. Should offer enough for most, but know that you just really have a place to grab when you're on it, on the side of the treadmill with the side of these handles. They're coated in plastic. It's got like a slight texture. It doesn't feel slick, so should be fine for most. And with this model, we recommend it primarily for walking, jogging, and some running. So the motor is a 2.75 continuous horsepower motor. Isn't the most quiet treadmill that we've tested, but you know, for a budget pick, it should work well in most spaces. And the motor is responsive. It adjusts the speed and incline consistently, so you don't get, lagging with that. And with this size motor, it's just best more for that kind of lighter to moderate use. Extensive use really isn't going to be great for it, so if you want to maybe train for a race, log a lot of miles on it, or use it at a high speed. So the speed is a max of 12 miles per hour on this one, which definitely offers a lot, but we don't recommend using the T10 at that max speed for long periods of time. More for shorter intervals is kind of a little bit more appropriate for the 2.75 horsepower motor. For reference, like 3 horsepower motors are typically kind of the lowest that we recommend for treadmills dedicated more to running. And you have a 12% grade, so you have that for your inclines. You definitely have a lot of training options on this treadmill. And also with the deck, something to keep in mind is that it is just 55 inches long, which isn't really best for some users, like if you have a long running stride, or if you're taller for running and running at higher speeds. But walking and jogging should be great for most. Usually 60 inches is kind of this kind of sweet spot that we see to work for most users across the board for anything from running to sprinting. It's also just 20 inches wide. This might feel a little bit more limiting to some, but definitely This treadmill is more compact, so great for that short amount of space if you need a treadmill that just doesn't take up as much space as one that has, the 22-inch wide deck and the 60-inch long deck, so you have that option there. The cushioning feels sufficient. I don't get discomfort in my joints, so it feels pretty comfortable, definitely provides that shock absorption that you like. It's not necessarily the softest that we've tested. Usually treadmills from Nordic Track are kind of the softest amount of cushioning that we tend to feel underfoot when we are testing. This kind of feels, it doesn't quite feel the firmest either, kind of feels somewhere in the middle. Definitely provides nice shock absorption though. And ProForm offers a 10-year warranty for the frame, so that definitely backs up the solid construction, a 2-year warranty for parts, and a 1-year warranty for labor. So this is the console on the Carbon T10. It has this 10-inch touchscreen. It's enabled with iFit, and iFit comes free for the first month. I'm gonna go over iFit in a moment. Know that iFit isn't required to use this treadmill, but definitely makes for an interactive training experience. But with the 10-inch touchscreen, it has a little bit of adjustability. You can kind of tilt it up and down slightly to be able to avoid any overhead glare. Overall, the visibility, you can see everything, see all your metrics pretty clearly. It isn't obviously the largest screen. If you do want a treadmill with a larger screen, we'd recommend checking out like the ProForm Pro 9000, which has a large 22-inch screen, but for a budget pick, the 10-inch screen I think works just fine. I really like these quick speed controls, quick adjustment buttons. They have every increment for your incline and also for your speed. So like I can go through and I could press the 6 and the deck will incline to 6%, and I can go through with the speed and be able to press 7, 8, and it'll go to 7.8 miles per hour. So with these, they're great for interval training, quick adjusting the treadmill. Also, when you subscribe to iFit, the treadmill can automatically adjust the speed and incline based on the format of the class. So this kind of makes for a hands-free training experience. You can also bypass this at any time, but it's definitely a nice option. You have a lot of different adjustability and training options, plus you have your more adjustment buttons down here. This console does have a fan. I will admit it is pretty weak. I'm gonna let you listen to it. I've kind of found the air really isn't, I can feel it here, but out here I really can't feel it much. It has multiple settings and it's fairly quiet, but the air output is pretty weak, so you might want to plug in a fan next to your treadmill if you want to get a little bit more airflow. It has the speakers, they sound clear, they go plenty loud. Something to keep in mind with the speakers is that you can't connect your phone through Bluetooth to be able to play your own music through the speakers. It only plays the content from iFit up here, so you don't have that option. Unfortunately, we would like to see that added back on like it was on the previous model. You do, however, have a little device rack here where you can place your phone or your tablet. If you place like a larger tablet, it might cover up part of the screen, so there's something to be aware of. But this is a nice option, so you can use iFit, you can put a book here and be able to read or be able to stream whatever you want. There's also, you have your cup holders here to hold whatever item you may need nearby or your water bottle. So overall, the console has nice options. We do just miss that extra Bluetooth feature, but you can connect headphones through Bluetooth to be able to listen through iFit's content through the speakers. So when you purchase the Carbon T10, it does come enabled with iFit, free for the first month for you to try out. It isn't required to be able to use the treadmill, but we definitely recommend it. That way you get full functionality out of the treadmill's features and also with the touchscreen. So this is the full subscription. This is the home page. They have over 16,000 classes to choose from that are led by knowledgeable instructors. So you get a really full rounded training experience. They have training on and off the treadmill, also other equipment, like equipment from ProForm that you can check out. So going through, navigating the screen to find a class is really easy. All the classes are on demand, so you can be able to pick whichever class you want to take. When I hit the browse section, it'll just take me up to be able to see the navigation bar up here where you can go in. I can type in like running and it will pull up classes that fit with that. And then there's also filters where you can filter by like the duration, your trainer, your workout type. Also with iFit, the classes are filmed indoors and outdoors. There's classes filmed in studios, and then outdoors, they're filmed all over the world, and that's where we really feel like iFit shines. So when you're taking a class, you can take a class like up a mountain in Switzerland or on a beach in Hawaii, so you have a lot of options. Plus, there is a Google Map feature where you can draw your own route really anywhere all over the world. So just this little create button down here will pull up just kind of a default location, but you can choose wherever you want, and then I can go through and I can press like one spot on the map and then another, and it will draw a route for me. And then as I am working out, I'll just see Google images of that location. So just gives you a little bit more options. Plus there's manual mode. There's also extra training options and onboard workouts if you don't want to subscribe to iFit. However, we highly suggest subscribing. And if you want to learn more about iFit, you can head to treadmillreviewguru.com. We have a full written review there. We also have a full video review coming, so make sure you check that out. And we highly recommend just at least checking out iFit if you haven't tried it or tried a training platform, just to see if it's for you. It definitely enhances the overall experience on the Carbon T10 in our opinion. All right, now I'm gonna let you see and hear how the Carbon T10 performs. But first, make sure you like this video if you're finding it helpful and subscribe to our channel. We create content and reviews like this so you can see and hear how fitness equipment works before you take it home. We also have a lot of new videos coming your way, so make sure you're subscribed. Now I'm going to let you listen to the motor. I'm on a flat grade, so no incline. Here is 3 miles per hour. Here is 6 miles per hour. Here's 9 miles per hour. So bring it back down to 3 miles per hour. Now I'm going to incline that deck to the 12% grade. So the incline is a little bit louder than other treadmills we've tested, but overall, this treadmill is fairly quiet. Something you might have noticed in this new design, slow it down just a sec, is that at the front here, there's like, I guess the deck folds, kind of hinges. So with that motor hood, instead of it staying flush with the deck when it's inclined, you have that little hinge where the deck will incline at the top, but the motor hood then remains down. This doesn't affect the performance. And now I want to show you that folding mechanism. So as you'll see, when I lift it up, the deck folds just below the motor hood. And I think this actually helps make the deck a little bit more compact when it's folded. Also, it doesn't have that hydraulic assist, so as soon as you unlock this pin, that deck can come down. So you want to make sure that you're hanging onto it. There is that bar in the back here that you can grip on, and then you lower it yourself. So it's not our favorite, has some pros and cons, but overall the T10 is compact, it's fairly quiet, and it's a good budget pick. Here's Matthew. He's our tallest reviewer at 6'5", walking at 3 miles per hour. Jogging at 6 miles per hour. And running at 9 miles per hour. Thanks for watching our review of the ProForm Carbon T10. It is enabled with iFit on the 10-inch touchscreen, and when you subscribe to iFit, you get access to thousands of classes that are on and off the treadmill, and you have a lot of training options. Overall, the T10 is affordable and it comes with some impressive features. We really like the automatic adjusting that it does when you subscribe to iFit, so the treadmill automatically adjusts with the format of the class on the screen, so you don't have to adjust it yourself. And it is compact, lightweight, plus it folds up when you're not in use, so it's really great if you need a little bit of extra room for a treadmill or you need one that stores. And we recommend it for walking, jogging, and some running. Also, with the construction, it feels solid and sturdy, and it's backed with a 10-year frame warranty. A few things to keep in mind is that we don't recommend this model for extensive use, so logging a lot of miles if you're training for a race. And also with the deck, it is 20 inches wide and 55 inches long, so it might not work for some users, especially for that extensive training or high speeds like sprinting. But overall, this is a really great budget option. It's compact and it still comes with nice features, and you have that option to be able to subscribe to iFit. If you want to learn more about the Carbon T10, make sure you head to treadmillreviewguru.com. You can read our full written review, and you can check the link in the description at the bottom for the current price on the T10. And if you like this video and find it helpful, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We create reviews like this for you so you can make informed buying decisions, and we have a lot of new videos coming your way, so make sure you're subscribed. I'm Sydney with Treadmill Review Guru. I'll see you next time.